All right, do not adjust your sets. It is June 2024, but on screen we are traveling back to April 2022 when StarPack was on the test server and had yet to be released. In fact, StarPack was bundled with all the custom exclusive pets at the time as well, so all of that stuff was being tested at the same time. Now, I felt it was kind of appropriate to use this ancient footage now, given that StarPack has just not long been reissued with a whole bunch of changes. And it's funny looking at the old footage of the game how much has changed. Not just with the pets themselves, but the UI and some of the mechanics. So here we can see on turn 3 that we level up into a Tamarin, and the Tamarin is in the right hand slot. And then we're actually going to sell this Duckling, and it's going to buff the Tamarin in the right hand slot. I'd completely forgotten about that change. So I guess originally Duckling only worked on the rightmost pet. And then actually here we're going to see original Otter, which gave a +1/1. And there's also Broccoli here, which gives -2/+4. So kind of halfway between the current Broccoli and the one in Unicorn Pack. I don't know, is it the liquid or the cake? Whichever one gives -5 -2/+5 as we get crushed here. And you can actually see there's quite a lot of differences in the animation as well. The pets used to have this kind of shaking effect every time they hit something, but thankfully that was removed because it was kind of irritating. But yeah, you can see why they got rid of this Broccoli quite quickly. You know, the +4 health, especially when you can stack it onto units that already have 1 HP to start with. Actually there's another interesting mechanical change. A raccoon stole weakness, which is something that is no longer possible. Weakness used to be considered a perk, so it would just be stolen by a raccoon, or it could be shared by Seagull, but that's not the case anymore. There are so many differences in this that it's hard to keep up with them all. Almost every unit in the game at this stage has been changed one way or another, as we freeze up the fried shrimp, which is going to be just as potent as the Broccoli because it's the older version. So again, here is Toucan passing back weakness, something that doesn't work anymore. And actually, it didn't skip over a pet that already had weakness. So that is something that has changed. I'm not sure if that was for the better or not. I guess it improves some units and makes others worse. So kind of a wash overall maybe. But here we go with the dine and combine strategy. So this was what people did a lot of the time, is that you would spam Broccoli onto one unit and then spam fried shrimp onto another and then combine them together. And there we actually saw Old Owl. I'd kind of forgotten about that. Owl used to just be a buy-sell unit. So you would buy-sell it and it was a 2 gold pair. Yeah, probably not the most interesting, but it is funny how much you get used to these changes and they just become the new normal. And then looking back at the old stuff, it just looks so strange. Something else that looks strange is how low down on the screen the units are during battle. That was one of those changes where at the time I couldn't really see the point of it, but then you realize just how much of the screen is wasted during a battle where there's this strip at the top that's just completely empty. So here I think I'm about to sell the Tamarin onto the Jerboa. And Tamarin at this stage used to give plus, I think it was 50%. Yeah, there we go. It's 100% on sell at level 2, which is super strong. And yeah, eventually that did get changed. And we're going to we're just going to stack the Jerboas. Not sure why exactly I did that. 1/2 turtle at this stage. Was that a tier 4 or tier 3 turtle? I didn't notice. But yeah, it's strange, all the little tiny changes, like the font has changed. There's actually 2/1 ant. That doesn't exist anymore, of course. And at this stage I was using the... I think this was before they'd even begun revamping the food art. So we've got the original food art, which is just the emojis. I think they're all just Google emojis. And there's a tier 4 dolphin. So dolphin has been tier 3 for a long time now, but originally it was tier 4 and it did 5 damage. So here we feed the jerboa, and at this point there is no owl or worm to generate apples. You just have to find the apples in the shop. You can get a mouse, but that was your only option for triggering the jerboa's ability. Some kind of odd looking teams here, bit of a mixture of different pets, but we are going to win. Yeah, the end screen is all different as well now. The emoji face that pops up and the trophies and the hearts, all of that has been redesigned, I think more than once over the years. So we'll definitely go level 2 jerboa. Clearly I was probably at this point just trying to record videos using the new pets. I did definitely put out 1 or 2 test server videos at the time, but much like now, I tend not to do many test server videos because they become obsolete very quickly. Especially if there are like overpowered units that kind of get emergency patched. I think it's much easier for the developers to update the test server. Now here you can see the old graphic for the lionfish. I'd completely forgotten about that. It looks very, very different there. And there is original canned food. Man, that takes me back. It was +2, +1. And yeah, you can see here that the shop doesn't, it works slightly differently. So in the current version, if you level up, it pushes the food out of the way. But in the old one, it just overwrites stuff, I think. It's hard to tell. There have been so many changes over the years. It's difficult to remember which ones happened in which phase of the game. Now, actually, I think that would be tier 3 blowfish there. The move to tier 4 for blowfish didn't happen all that long ago. And I've got the double crocodile frozen here, although I don't think I'm going to bring them in. I'm just going to use the lollipop. Probably just excited to use new foods and items, even if it wasn't the greatest play in the world. So yeah, the little animation for buying the food and stuff is slightly different now as well. And we'll just freeze that stuff up for next turn. Caterpillar, I don't think we're going to see it here because it's only level 2, but the old version of Caterpillar used to copy the highest health unit on your own team instead of the enemy's team. So it was a lot more reliable. So that takes us to 9. I don't really remember, was the test server all that difficult way back or not? But since we're coming to the end, let me know in the comments, are there any changes that you can spot in this video that you wish that had never happened? I definitely think most of the changes overall, looking back, are definitely for the better, but it's nice to have that nostalgic feeling now and again.